So one of the things I like about Dragon Ball Superhero, I loved it because this is not really the Goku and Vegeta story. I mean, yes, Goku and Vegeta were there, but they were on Beerus's planet training. Same with Broly too. This story was actually about Piccolo and Gohan and Pan. Originally, it was actually supposed to be a Piccolo movie, but then Toriyama decided to change it to be a Piccolo and Gohan movie. Even though, in an interview, like I said before, Piccolo is one of his favorite characters. And it actually feels like a Piccolo movie, more of a Gohan and Piccolo movie, but it feels like more of a Piccolo movie, if that makes any sense. And also, I am actually glad that Piccolo was in it because Piccolo is one of my favorite characters. You know, we get to see the, more actions of Piccolo that we never seen in a while. You know, after the Android saga, Piccolo didn't do absolutely nothing with the exception of helping Goten and Trunks doing the fusion dance. And in Dragon Ball Super, he was there here and there, but he got humiliated by Frost and more humiliated in the Tournament of Power by getting beaten by a goddamn bug. And in GT, he died for no apparent reason and then helped Goku go to Earth and stayed in hell. But anyways, moving on to the movie. So Piccolo, I like how he was also, like I said, I really like how Piccolo was in this movie. I also liked how he disguised himself as the Red Ribbon Army soldier, which was pretty damn cool. And was also pretty funny. Just a lot of things. Also, Piccolo being the teacher of Pan. I really loved it so much. I also like how Pan got older, and it's pretty interesting as well, because we never saw Pan in a while. I mean, with the exception, of course, in Dragon Ball GT, though, but what can you do here and there? But yeah. And also, I like how the Red Ribbon Army's back, because we never saw the Red Ribbon Army ever since OG Dragon Ball, and technically in the Android saga, since Dr. Gero was the last member of the Red Ribbon Army at that time in Z, and to create the androids. But no, the Red Ribbon Army is back, and yeah. And Gohan, despite that, yes, Gohan being my least, or at least one of my least favorite characters in the story, but at least he still had his shine here and there. And it's kind of like the throwback. It feels like a throwback of the Android/Cell saga. And I'm actually glad that, of course, the main villain of the story is actually Cell. Even though that it's a different version of Cell. Even though that I have problems with Cell Max, because it's just a freaking recolor kaiju-sized Cell, but whatever. I also liked how that Piccolo got, even though that you can make a huge argument that Piccolo cheated by getting a new power boost with a new transformation. So he actually got 2 transformations. He had like this light greenish transformation that's kind of like a quote-unquote Super Namekian, or like a, I'm talking about. It's like his own version of a Super Saiyan, even though that he's a Namekian. And then he gets this orange buff form called Orange Piccolo, which was pretty freaking dope. I am not gonna freaking lie. And I like how he beat the living shit out of the Gamma. It was Gamma 2. Yeah, Gamma 2, I believe. The red one. I mean, not the red one, the blue one. Yeah. And I liked how, all the characters that were fighting against Cell Max, all of them there with the exception of Goku and Vegeta, holding by their time when Gohan just snaps or something. And I also like to mention that Goten and Trunks are not kids anymore. Well, technically speaking, they're not 8, 7, or 10 years old. They're teens. They're not like what they were in Z, like in late Dragon Ball Z, well, end of Z, but at least that they're a lot older still. And they fused into Gotenks, which I always wanted to see a Gotenks, but not really Gotenks. Well, a fat-ass version of Gotenks, since they never fused in a while. But regardless, it kind of still counts. And of course, I loved how Piccolo turned into the giant form, because we never see giant Piccolo in a while. The only time we saw Piccolo into his giant form was in the 23rd Budokai tournament, which was pretty damn dope, I am not going to lie. But in this one, Piccolo turned to a giant again, and he fights against second form Cell Max, which, I'm sorry. Even though it literally looks like second form Cell, which it sort of is, but... Anyways, and it feels like a kaiju fight. Like, it looks like a kaiju fight. Because you got Cell Max and Giant Orange Piccolo fighting each other out, Even though that Cell Max was beating the living shit out of Orange Piccolo, but Piccolo was still holding on. He was trying his very best. He gave Cell Max a hard time, but he was holding his own. I also like how Gohan used the Piccolo's technique, the special beam cannon, aka the Makaku Sappo, in the Japanese, and in the Uncut Kai version. I loved, like, instead of a Kamehameha to finish off, Gohan uses Piccolo's technique. And I loved when Piccolo grabbed Cell and would not let him go. And that, my friends, was pretty damn dope. And that shot when Gohan used the special beam cannon against Cell, that was pretty awesome. Yeah. I also like how in the dubbing was pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie. They got a lot better. But overall, I love Superhero. I thought this was going to be a terrible movie, but I loved it so much. And I rank this a 9 out of 10. It is my second favorite movie. I'll talk about its problems here and there, but overall, Superhero is still one of my favorite Dragon Ball movies ever.